Hey guys, Chris Johnny X here. I thought I'd do a little video similar to my Mother's Day vlog from 2015. I thought I'd about time make one on Father's Day to, well, I'll get to why in a bit. Anyway, growing up, there was always a few characters I looked up to, mostly fictional characters. Like, I was really into Sonic, but one guy I always did look up to was my father. Now, he isn't perfect. He made a lot of mistakes, most that I'm not going to get into for the better part of the privacy of any family members that wouldn't want me to be public about that, so I want to respect that. But he made a lot of mistakes that I know that he would want to rectify and make things right about. When, you remember from my Mother's Day vlog, when I mentioned that, at one point my parents were fighting and eventually my mother left. Well, when mom did leave, my dad had to do everything on his own. He had to, help provide for us in some form. He had a bad back, so he had to end up using Social Security, not really for himself, but to help provide for me, my brother, and my sister. Pretty much had to do it all on his own, and in the meantime, he was also looking for someone so that he can be happy with someone, as well as have a mother for, well, me, my brother, and my sister. In the process, he did find someone who, again, won't be mentioned in name or anything, for the better part of respecting their privacy, and came probably the first few mistakes he had made. He ended up selling the house we lived in. That was originally my mom's, actually. In fact, originally my grandma's on my mom's side. That was given to us by her. And he even ended up selling our dog. He actually hated himself for it. I remember him telling me before he ended up venturing on a vacation elsewhere. I remember him telling me that he regretted giving up our dog Shiva. He even said with a stern look in his eye and emotion in his face that he loved that dog. Even though he ended up putting on an act saying that we shouldn't be crying about it and all that, but admittedly he went about it the wrong way, and just he really hated doing that to us, giving up our dog. It was also done because the woman in question did not care for animals, which should have been a deal breaker in my opinion, but he wanted to do what he could to allow us to have a mother in place of the mother that did leave, but you know the story with that one. Eventually we moved in with the woman and things went good for the most part. We were relatively happy. Eventually, though, things happened. I went into foster care, my brother went into foster care and such, and eventually things just went sour between the woman and my dad, especially when he had a liver operation. He wasn't able to do much at the time, had to take pills to alleviate water, I forget what it's called, like retained water or something like that, which was why his gut was actually pretty big. It's a long story. I'm not going to get into that specifically. Eventually, though, at the time, though, my dad ended up, they ended up being kicked out of the house because the woman was admittedly a bitch and just cared more about her own kids than us, which really sucked. And Dad, even though he had to live in a warmer climate because of the time at his with his liver situation, he had a liver operation as a result of some sort of condition. I don't want to get into it too many details. And eventually, Dad did find a place for him and my sister to stay in, so that she could stay in, keep going to the school so that she wouldn't have to leave any of her friends. So Dad pretty much risked his health for her, but I'm not gonna end up shaming her or anything, but eventually things ended up going south. There were like arguments and such going on. The place they were staying in was not of a great place, and eventually it got to the point where Dad said something that he regrets every single day. It just drove away my sister from him, and she is happy on her own. She's even engaged. Congratulations to her, and I'm happy for her. There are times that I wish that they still had each other in their respective lives. It was essentially a family torn, it felt like. I'm happy for my sister, and I'm happy for my dad right now, but sometimes I wish. I'm sorry, it's just how I feel on it. Sis, if you're watching this, I'm sorry to get like this, and I hope you're doing well. And if you're gonna invite me to the wedding, I'll make sure to see if I can bring a gift. Unless you don't want a gift, which is fine, but I'll probably try and bring one anyway to the best of my ability. Even if I don't end up making enough money for whatever I do in the future, I'm always willing to help in some way. Anyway, the main reason I'm doing this is I haven't heard from Dad in a while. I mentioned this in my 800 subscribers vlog, and it wasn't until May 19th. We were having some issues with what he was trying to have me send via the mail system and whatnot, and it was around that time, May 19th, that the Philippine president declared martial law. My dad lived in the Philippines, basically. He declared martial law, which, as it turns out, prevents all communication from the outside world to the area that is under martial law. I'm told that it's not really martial law, and that city he's in is just like connection issues, but I've never had connection issues with my dad before. And I'm not just talking in terms of relationships, I'm talking about in terms of the internet. Like, I can't call him because I don't have international calling. And I've been emailing him tons, and I know that snail mail won't exactly work either. It takes too long. I need an immediate response, and it's June 17th, and I'm just worried. Dad, I don't know if you're watching this, but I hope you're okay. I never even got to tell you about my YouTube thing, and I'm praying that you're well. I love you, and I miss you. And I hope you're safe. I just want to make sure I hear your voice again. I've been trying to make sure to set up some kind of Skype call or something with you, and we never managed to get it going. Dad, please, if you're able to find some way, contact me and let me know that you're safe, or even hell, even with the whole Trump situation, I'd feel more at ease if you managed to find a way to come back to the States and be able to just live. The worst part about this is that I have no idea if my dad is alive or dead, if he's panicking or calm, if he's... It's torture not knowing whether the man that raised me is safe. I just wanted... I'm sorry. I'm scared. I'm scared for my dad, and I just want to know if he's alright. If you have a father that loves you, cherish the time you have with him. Just like you would cherish the time with your mother, if they were truly a mother to you. If you have parents that have always been there for you, that don't try to control you, that allow you to be you, show them all the love you can. If you show them love on Mother's Day, that's great. If you show them love on Father's Day too, show them that they matter to you. Webcam froze a bit. Just, I don't know if any of you are too religious or not. I mean, no judging, no matter what your religion is, whether it be Muslim, actually it's more like Islam, Judaism, Christianity, or even if you're an atheist, would mean very much to me if you guys kept my dad in your thoughts and, depending on your religious circumstances, in your prayers. It would really mean a lot to me. I remember at one point, my dad even said that since being in the Philippines, it's done wonders for him and his health and his mental health, especially, that he bears no ill will towards anyone he has ever ended up being upset over for whatever reason. I believe he even said about something about wanting to try and get back in touch with my uncle, and that he regrets ever having a strained relationship with him, and he regrets not being able to make things right. I I love you, Dad. Happy Father's Day, and I pray to God that you're alright.